Well, hello, folks. It's another Wednesday, and we are back to rank another Game Boy puzzle game. You can see we've got a list of 25 games here. Tetris at the top, Blodia at the bottom. And today we're playing a game that is part of a classic franchise, that being Puyo. And, well, there's no point really burying the lead too much. There are two Puyo games for the black and white Game Boy, and, you'll see. You will see. Anyway, let's not waste too much time on that. Let's jump right on into the game. Here we go. What's that? It seems kind of crispy, but I think that's... So this is probably the option screen. Play level normal, 3 game. That seems pretty straightforward. Now, sadly, I can't read any of this, but I am familiar enough with this game, so I believe this is like beginner mode. Sort of a tutorial section. So, Puyo is at its heart kind of similar to Tetris, but more of like a color matching game. We've played a few color matching games on the Game Boy so far. So you just gotta make a cluster of 4 things that are the same type, same kind, same something or other. And I'm wondering if you're seeing the problem already. These 2 pieces that I'm dropping right now, and I'm rotating one of them, those are 2 different types of blobs. Can you tell? Yeah, so... I mean, I've talked a few times about accessibility and, specifically like accessibility as it relates to the Game Boy having a black and white screen. This is probably the least accessible of those games that I've seen yet. Now, it's also very slow, so that's kind of helping us. Itchy face, man. I always have an itchy face. Anyway, are these 2 the same? I think these are the same. So you create matches, and then the idea is, after you've created them, it sort of, it causes, like, garbage blobs to fall onto the other player's... Well, I was gonna say screen, the other player's playfield. And the amount of garbage you drop can be increased by doing slightly more technical moves, so, like, if you can do, like, chain reactions, those are kind of the best ones you got. Those aren't... And so you kind of have to make a match adjacent to one of the garbage blobs in order to clear it off the board. And yeah, I mean, like, even putting aside, like, the color issues, I can't imagine, like, this, like, playing this on such a tiny screen, you know, especially where they got, like, both... what am I trying to say here? You know, the arcade version of this was always sort of a competitive game, and it had like the same sort of split-screen format that you see here. And this is maybe, I don't know, like if you were to like play this with the link cable, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Oh, kind of messed that up. So yeah, if you were to play this with the link cable, maybe it wouldn't be quite so bad. I think that's gonna do him in. At least in theory, you know, you could have your screen and, I mean, the other player would have their own screen on their own Game Boy. Yep, this is still going. And we won. And how long did that take? Clearly we are not getting... Oh, wait. It took 348 time units. And no bonus, because that's kind of a lot of times. Lesson 2. And so this is, of course, Arla. Arla, you might remember her from the, I already can't remember what that game is played. We played it on Mellow Monday for a little while. In fact, I believe most of the folks in this are sort of recurring characters from the sort of compile extended universe. There was always kind of an element of sort of luck dependency to this. Obviously the trick to playing this well is to kind of plan around that, in a sense. But like, there's a particular blob that I need in order to make a particular chain reaction happen right now. Oh, now we finally got it. Okay, so we can put this guy here, and that's gonna do that. I'm kind of hoping that the thing I'm complaining about here is at least somewhat obvious. If not obvious, then at least, like, self-evident to some degree? Because the thing is, like, this is a classic franchise, and it is deserving of that classic status. But this version specifically. Okay, so I think this one just doesn't have the big blobs. Or the big blobs even that might have been a sequel thing, I don't know. God, itchy face. Driving me nuts here. Okay, we won again. How many times was that? 210. Oh. We managed to shave 100 time units. Hey, Mint. Yeah. We're, So I'm not entirely sure why these are called lessons. This is definitely beginner mode for sure. And there doesn't appear to be any bonus for getting an all clear. Again, that's a thing they would add in later games. Okay, if we put that there... And same thing, you see what the other guy's doing there, and he's sort of stacking up along the side. It's kind of a sort of bet hedging strategy. It's not going to do a triple, that's just a double. So Mint, how well are you following the action here? Able to tell what's going on? Because under normal circumstances, this would in fact be a color matching game. Yeah, it seems like they went with shapes. That seems to have been their sort of solution. I cannot imagine, like, actually trying to play this on a real Game Boy screen. Okay, he won. I'm gonna try again here just to see. Yeah, I had a Game Gear, and the screen on it was pretty good. The battery life was exactly what you've been told. So I basically, anywhere I took my Game Gear, I would bring an AC adapter with me, and I would find an outlet, and I would just plug it in and play it that way. And the membrane holding the D-pad together died. I played a whole lot of Columns, which is a good game. Columns is, I think, a little underappreciated. Put that there. And the other thing I'll say, this is a spoiler for a future episode, but there are two Puyo games for the original Game Boy, and the other one does a much better job of kind of solving the problems that plague this game. Oh, that's the wrong piece. Okay. Oh. Yeah. And this game is also not the most balanced of competitive puzzle games. Again, sort of owing to the fact that it's primarily an arcade game and try to get the matches to, you know, end pretty quickly so that, you know, you'll either put in more quarters or get off the machine. And so it's kind of set up so that once one player starts to get an advantage, it is pretty tough to sort of pull back from it, to kind of recover. Not impossible, but like those little garbage blocks or blobs or whatever, like they tend to they move you closer to the top of the screen. They also block whatever moves you were trying to make at the time. So kind of the best strategy is to try and play like super aggressive and fill the other person's screen with garbage as fast as you can. I also do think that both players, I believe you get the same pieces. I didn't really look to see. I assume that's the case for this one. That there. I can do double chains like the best of them, but any chain reaction more than that is probably just got lucky. Oh, I think we're done. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't too bad. Well, we do have to kind of start over here. Start... What? Oh. What was that game called? One sec, I'm just gonna Google this real quick. Yeah, Mado Monogatari, which is sort of a kind of first-person dungeon crawly role-playing game. And that's where a lot of these characters come from. Or did that come first? I don't remember which came first, but yeah. Yeah, so it's not letting me pick this one at all, so I assume that's two-player mode, which would use the link cable. And then I believe this is what they call it, exercise mode, or... And so yeah, so this is just endless single player. I believe this was the original version of the game for like either like MSX or Famicom or something. I think MSX. And then the sort of two-player versus mode was added for the arcade game, and that kind of turned out to be the mode that that kind of got really popular. Okay, if I put that there. One, two, three. So this is kind of your typical kind of puzzle fare, right? The blocks get faster as you progress, and apparently this guy just crushes everything in his path. That was not a pleasant sound. Yeah, I mean, the versions of this game have come out for everything, so... sort of further compounding the point that, you know, maybe you don't need to play this one in particular. I believe there's a Super Nintendo version of the game on NSO. Unfortunately, that one's also like entirely in Japanese. But that is, I believe that's a version of Puyo Puyo 2 or Puyo Puyo 2, to use the. I'm told it's a pun. I don't speak Japanese. Then there's also, of course, Puyo Puyo Tetris. We know Alpha's a big fan of that one. And of course there's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which is the same game but with like some Sonic the Hedgehog characters thrown in. And also Kirby's Avalanche, which is the same game but with Kirby characters thrown in. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, my... Again, just real itchy face here. hardest. Well, let's set the play level to easy. What's custom? What does custom do? Oh, sound test, time attack, character normal. What? Okay, so I guess we can put a time limit. We can remove the characters. Let's turn that off, see what that does. There do appear to still be characters. Yeah, I'm not sure what that meant. At least we're getting better music here. This tune's at least a bit catchy. I was out at a bar one time, and I started to get the itchy face. And there's this one other dude at the bar who was absolutely 100% convinced that I was on cocaine and trying to hide it. It's been a weird year for weather in general. For some mysterious, unknowable reason that there can't possibly be evidence for. I can get both of these at the same time. It's not gonna do a whole lot for me. 100%, yes. Very true. about to drop some crap on him. Oh, there it goes. Oh. That's the other thing about Puyo Puyo. It's very much infamous for the CPU player being absolutely relentless. In that way that you tend to only get with, like, you know, sort of arcade-style puzzle games. Like, I am playing on, I'm pretty sure I set the difficulty to easy. This guy's still just cleaning the floor with me. Yeah, I don't think he's cheating. I think they just... The difficulty is a little overtuned. And that's a common feature across pretty much every version of this game. I don't know if I can keep up the pressure here, but... Oops. Well, it didn't matter. Then easily the most memorable character is Soke Dotara, the fish with arms and legs. And he loves to dance. No, I don't know what I was planning there. I already forgot. If we... just like that. Okay, I think this'll work. This'll work. How does he only have 45 points? I just noticed that. I guess he's technically slow play. No, wait, nope. I was about to say he's slow playing me, and then he just made his move. No, that was not smart. There, clear this out. Oh. Here I am saying that's not smart, and then it worked out for me. I mean, that was totally intentional. All according to plan. Oh, that's it. That's not quite 50 minutes yet, but there isn't really a whole lot more to show off here. At least not unless I'm able to get a little quicker on the draw here. One thing I will say, this game being in Japanese, we are missing out on the dialogue. And because the game that these characters come from, I'm pretty sure these characters all come from Mado Monogatari. And that game had sort of a comedic tone. So a lot of the dialogue is quite funny. And the characters are all like really quirky and eccentric and often slightly neurotic. There's a cavalcade of wacky characters, you know. The fish with arms and legs is one of many examples of that. So that would at least be something else this game would have going for it. But, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the list. So, let's come over to, nope, wrong one. Oh, here we go, okay. So, look at that beauty. I was led to believe acne goes away when you're no longer a teenager. So, as far as rating the game itself, under normal circumstances, this would absolutely be top 5, certainly top 10 material. This particular version, however, does have some obvious problems. Particularly, again, the size of the screen. I think the sequel, I believe, also has, like, the size of the screen is not much bigger, but if I remember correctly, like, they do kind of solve the color issue a little, at least better than this game does. And so it ends up being a really good game, a classic game, in fact, but just not a good version of a classic game. And that puts it on our list. The closest comparison we have here so far would be, Bust-A-Move 2 Arcade Edition, which kind of has the same problem. It's a readability issue. Sometimes I say accessibility, sometimes I say readability. In this particular instance, it's kind of same difference. It's just hard to really see what's going on. And so, Gearworks was similar in a sense. Is this better or worse than Bust-A-Move 2? I think it's worse. Is it better or worse than this kind of weirdly sluggish version of The Adventures of Lolo? And again, I don't think it's as good as that. But it's absolutely better than Nail and Scale. No contest there. So, this didn't take near as much time to... Well, I had a feeling this wouldn't take too long to deliberate, but there's not... So... Puyo Puyo is our new number 20. And that's going to be me for this evening. This one was pretty easy to call, pretty easy to deliberate, pretty easy to show off. Difficult game to play. And to be clear, it would be a difficult game without the readability issues, because in all versions, the computer just whoops your ass. But that is it for me. So I will be back tomorrow night with some live improvised music, as always. Saturday night music production. Monday, is somebody playing Bubsy? I see someone playing Bub. We're going to be rating a Bubsy stream. What could possibly go wrong? I can't believe they're making a new Bubsy game. That is a terrible idea. What are they thinking? Anyway, I'll be back on Monday with some more Infinifactory and Azure Dreams. I'll be back on Tuesday with some more Lufia 2. And then this time next week, we'll be ranking another puzzle game for the Game Boy. So thank you once again for coming by. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me and keeping me company. And as always, I do hope to see you next time. Bye for now.